OpenAI just introduced their new image generation feature inside Furrow, and this is by far the best and most powerful update that they ever had in image generation and generative AI. As you can see in this image, they have heavy text, but there are no deformations in the text. Whenever we were playing with text in image generation, they would mess up big time. But here you can see it can do really great with words, and even it can create comics like this and science experiments. Pretty cool. And this is not all. They have consistent characters. You can do text rendering. You can upload and restyle stuff. So this means that you now have the capability to edit images inside ChatGPT, and you will have detailed directions. So you can give it directions about the color, the font, and how you want your images to be. You can have transparent layers. And the best part is they're going to offer this feature in all ChatGPT tiers, which means the free users can also access it and use it, which I would say is a generous move by OpenAI. And with that said, let's actually dive right into it and explore this new amazing Furrow image generation and see whether it's actually worth all that hype. Hi and welcome back to Skill Club. This is your host Shamriz and we're here at ChatGPT. So without further ado, let's go and explore this new image generation feature with the ChatGPT Furrow model. So before we start with the testing, I want to show you some of the generations that I previously did with Sora yesterday, because somehow I wasn't able to access GPT Furrow image generation yesterday on my ChatGPT platform. So I used Sora and actually it did a pretty good job at that. So I have these generations here, you can see. So I created this image of law of conservation of energy, and I gave it this prompt: create a manga style colorful image to explain law of conservation of energy. Add some humor to it. And you can see it did a pretty good job at adding the humor, and here is kinetic energy that is turning to heat energy. So total energy always remains the same. Both of the images are really well done, and you can see the text is on spot and really crisp. I generated this image here. The text is really crisp here, as well as here you can see it's capturing all the details. The text is on spot, and then I went on with some more heavy text here, and still it did not miss a single word. And personally speaking, this is one of the biggest breakthroughs in the generative AI industry. Here again, it did an absolutely fantastic job at text and infographics. You can see it gave us a world map with countries leading in renewable energy adoption like solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and biomass. ChatGPT just completely overtook the generative AI industry. Here again, I did a manga and it did a pretty good job at that. But today in this video, I came fully prepared to test this out thoroughly. So we have the photorealistic human portrait, product mockup, we have some heavy text infographics, some educational posters, then we're gonna be doing some dashboard interface to create some UI, some consistent character prompts here, and then we're gonna be doing image editing or background removal use cases. After that, we're gonna be creating a YouTube thumbnail, and at the end, we're gonna be mixing everything up and creating a really chaotic image out of GPT-4o. So with that said, let's get started with our first prompt here, which is going to be a photorealistic human portrait. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go back to ChatGPT and just paste that prompt right here. So a photorealistic portrait of a 25 years old woman with some facial details right here. So let's go ahead and actually hit enter, and you can see it's creating the image, and it is quite fast compared to yesterday. And there you go, we have a photorealistic image right here. It's capturing all the details right here: the black leather jacket, standing in a neon lit Tokyo street at night, and depth of field and cinematic lighting is right there, and you can see the freckles right here. Pretty amazing job at the realistic one. Let's go ahead with the next one, which is going to be a product mockup. So now with this update, you can actually create product mockups and even do product photography without even having to hire a photographer or having a photography setup. So let's go ahead and paste that and hit enter. So it's going to create a premium coffee packaging. Alright, so in our second generation, we ran into some errors right here. So it's saying that it wasn't able to generate the image that I requested due to some error on its end. So this is what I was facing yesterday. Maybe this is because of a lot of load and people are trying this new feature, as they claim that it will be available in all tiers of ChatGPT. So let's go ahead and actually redo this prompt. I'm pretty sure it should work, and if it does not work, we're gonna stick with Sora for this video, and we're gonna wait till they actually stabilize this feature inside ChatGPT. So there you go, we have the results right here. So I wanted to create a premium coffee packaging mockup with a minimalistic matte black pouch, gold typography, and placed on a marble countertop with some soft shadows. And it captured all of these details. Although I did not mention what I want the typography to be, it did some assumptions and inferred this text right here. And the text is really crisp. And now you can go ahead and make your product designs and product mockups. So this was the second use case. Now let's get ahead with the third one, which is going to be a text heavy infographic. So let's just copy this. I'm going to go back to my ChatGPT right here. Let's go paste it and hit enter. So this time I'm creating an infographic where we're going to be comparing renewable energy sources. So there you go. We have our results out, and this actually looks like an infographic, and it did a pretty good job at these graphics here. I mean, this looks really clean and minimalistic, so this is a pass for me. Let's go ahead quickly with all the generations, and we're going to be talking about it once everything is done because it's going to take some time and I don't want to drag this video for too long. And I'm going to generate all the test results right here, and then we're going to be jumping in the editing use cases. So let's go ahead and do that. So there you go. We have some of the results right here. This is yet another heavy text educational poster right here. So how your digestive system works. And you can see it did a pretty good job. You can see the spelling mistake here, but other than that, the text right here, it is crisp and on spot. And in the next test, we created a UI. So this means that you can design UI for your website and other platforms using ChatGPT now. You can just describe what your UI should look like, and you can see it did a pretty good job at creating this UI. Next one is creating consistent characters. So what I did is I asked it to create the same character with 4 different poses. So one is the front pose, one side pose, one back pose, and one is a pose of the detective with some expression. And you can see it did a pretty good job at keeping everything consistent down to the shoes. But now for the next use case, we're going to be targeting image editing. So I have an image and I want to remove the background of that image. How can I do that? So I'm just going to go right here and I'm going to drag one of the images that I generated using AI, this cat image, and I'm going to ask it to remove the background or make the background transparent and just hit enter. Now notice how it's going to keep the subject on spot without changing the subject and just removing the background. You can retouch your photos to remove backgrounds and much more inside ChatGPT. So there you go. We have the final result right here, and you can see this is the original image and this is the image we got after removing the background. The subject is consistent. There is no changes in the subject. Although while removing the background, I see some of the details got blurred out. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this. So what if I want to change the background of this image? So I'm just going to go ahead and say now add a sky blue background with small kitten emojis as a design texture in the background. So there you go. We have the results and this is looking really cute. Although the blanket here, you can see that this is from the original image right here. This means that it actually keeps image context, which is really powerful. As we know that ChatGPT has some memory which can keep context of text prompt, text messages, and the whole conversation. But now it has the capabilities to actually have image context. And it added this blanket from this image right here, from the context. I didn't ask it to add it. So this is a fun surprise right here. And as you can see, the background is blending really perfectly right here. Amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and download this because I really find this cute. So let's just keep this. So now you must have this question. Can we change the getup or the clothes of this cat right here? So I'm just going to go ahead and ask GPT to change the getup of this cat into a black leather jacket with black sunglasses. So there you go. We have the results and it did a pretty good job at this sunglasses and the leather jacket. And I'm going to save this image for myself. So these were the 3 image editing use cases that I wanted to work with. Now, the next one that I want to try is to actually create a thumbnail for my YouTube channel. So let's say I want to create a YouTube thumbnail for the top 5 AI tools. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this prompt from here. And back here in my ChatGPT, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it and hit enter. So in this thumbnail, we're going to have a big title, top 5 AI tools that will blow your mind. And this heading is going to be bold text in white yellow. Then a surprised man pointing at a glowing AI robot's head and blurred tech background, clickbait style. Although I forgot to add some perfect dimensions for this thumbnail, but I'm just going to go ahead and iterate over it and add some dimensions to have the perfect thumbnail size. It did a pretty good job with the top 5 AI tools, and the thumbnail is really cool. We have AI hair, glowing head, and the surprise and shocking expression of the man. But what if I want to replace the face of this man with mine and keep the expressions the same? So I'm just going to go ahead and actually experiment this. So this is something that just came in my mind and I want to try this out because I'm really excited about this new update. So let's go ahead and actually try this. So I have uploaded one of my images. So now I'm going to ask GPT to keep the expressions the same, just replace the given image in the thumbnail and also change the thumbnail dimensions. So there you go. This is our first result where it did try to actually replicate my face and my image and try to insert it inside this thumbnail. And it did a pretty good job at replicating my hair. I wanted it to have the same short expression. So I went on again with the prompt. This time it did the dimensions right and it did the expression there, the same expression as this. But the results are not that great. You can see that it couldn't replicate all of my face features and we see some distortion right here. And to be honest, this result is not half bad as compared to the other tools that I've tried out. I want to go with my last use case, which is a mixed style chaos prompt. So this one is going to be the last one, and so far I have been impressed with the capabilities of this new model when it comes to infographics and adding text to these images. Cutest of all was this cat where I actually went on, removed the background, added some cute backgrounds here, and then added some clothing to this cat. And it did a fabulous job at that. So there you go. We have our final output right here. So I asked it to create the collage of really chaotic elements right here. You can see we have some text right here, some books that are turned into some spaceship. We have octopus in a cup. We have a dog with a VR headset. A lot of components in one image, and it did a pretty good job setting up this whole canvas with creativity. And to be honest, my first expression about this new image generation update that they have in ChatGPT 4.0, it is phenomenal and by far the most powerful update in image generation that ChatGPT ever had. I mean, just imagine one tool can be a researcher. It can write code for you and then it can create amazing images like this one here, create product mockups so you don't need product photography anymore, create infographics for you so you don't need Canva and other graphic tools, posters like this with really crisp text in them, and then UIs like this so you don't need Figma, and then consistent characters so you don't need Midjourney. And then we have some really cool image editing features right here, so you don't need any image editing tool now or in Paint. So you can go ahead and remove backgrounds, add clothing. Then you can even go ahead and create YouTube thumbnails. I mean, all in one platform. And the best part here is that it is available throughout all the tiers of ChatGPT. Even they are planning to provide this in the free tier. And it has image context capabilities, which is by far my favorite one and something that blew me off. So with that said, I want to wrap this video up. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Ring that notification bell to never miss out on our daily updates. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay curious and keep exploring.